I do gospel outreach evenings, and I talk about how I found Jesus, Yeshua, to be the Messiah. I go through messianic prophecies that are in the Old Testament and how he fulfilled them and so forth. So the whole thing is running through the entirety of the Bible.
How did it come about, Helen? I don't think I've ever asked you. What happened that you suddenly started to believe that Jesus was the Messiah and is the Messiah?
Okay, how do I get this into a nutshell? I've always believed in God kind of vaguely from a kid.
So were you a religious Jewish family?
No, not particularly.
Right.
But you don't have to be. It's culture. It's everything else. We would attend synagogue on sort of high holy days, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Okay. But somebody gave me a book to read. No, I used to, for a while in the 60s, I believed in all kinds of things, spiritualism and all these kinds of things, which, as far as I understood, God was involved in all of that. Mm-hmm. And then one day I just stopped believing, and I couldn't understand why, because I hadn't chosen to. I know now that was God intervening in my life. That was just soon after I turned 40. And around the same time, somebody gave me a book to read, a book called Betrayed, which some of your listeners might be familiar with, which contained messianic prophecies. These prophecies like from Isaiah 53, Psalm 22, all the things about the Messiah, prophecies that are in the Old Testament about the coming special person, Messiah who was to come. And I read this and I was amazed because they all seemed to point to Jesus. And I thought, it can't be so. How could this be? I went and bought a Bible, and yes, there were all these prophecies and more. Right. And they all seemed to point to Jesus. So for the first time in my life, I opened up the New Testament and began to read. Right. And the first thing that struck me was the fact that the New Testament is a Jewish book.
Indeed.
Yeah, written by Jewish men about the most famous Jew of all. And I was so at home, and I fell in love with him straight away, Jesus.
Did you have Jewish friends who said, what are you doing?
No, most people didn't really know. It was me sitting in a corner, just looking up these things on my own.
But you had to come out eventually.
Which it did, of course. And different people received it. I mean, I gave my life to him in August 1987. My mum became a believer about 6 months later, and various other members of my family, especially the older ones, have done the same since. Right. But it was greeted with different kinds of reactions. Oh, it's another one of Helen's things. Or what do you mean? What's this all about? Or not too much hostility, but just, don't want to know. Because like anyone with families, don't talk to me about your Jesus.
Right,
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Why not start your day with Inspirational Breakfast, Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m, only on Premier Christian Radio, where faith comes to life.